Hello, everyone, and welcome to Strange Brew Media Group presents the interviews. I'm your host, Jamal Jupitur, and I want to introduce a very funny and talented comedian tonight from sunny California, keeping us all in stitches all the time, which laughter is what we need. We always need that, Give it up for the amazing Motoko Kitazumi, better known as Mo. How are
Hi.
you, Mo? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. Thank you for allowing me to do this interview. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, pleasure's all mine.
Yes, indeed. Okay, my first question.
hmm
Uh, Tell us who Mo is. Who is Motoko?
so I'm Mo. I'm a librarian by day, and I try to do stand up by night. A mom. Yeah, just trying to be a superhero in every which way.
And being a super mom and a
Yeah,
super entertainer and all that good stuff.
yeah.
Always good. What is your biggest inspiration for making people laugh?
Um, my biggest inspiration is just trying to have people see just a different point of view. And
Hmm.
then hopefully during that process, it makes them laugh, makes them think. But that's my biggest inspiration is I want them to see what it's like to be in a different person's shoes. And for me, it's what it's like to be a mom in this day and age. And with everything going on, like, what does that mean for me? And I just want people to think about how that could be different for somebody that looks like me and thinks like me.
Wow, yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing. Yes. How do you react? How do people react when you tell them that you're a comedian?
Well, so I got into comedy like for my 35th birthday, it was like my quarter life crisis.
Oh,
And for my
wow.
friends, it was like, meh, like there is nothing I can do to surprise my friends at this point.
Uh,
So it was like, okay, yeah, that sounds about right. But everyone else, like out here, so I do comedy now in Arizona, and everyone else here has been super supportive. So everyone has been very, very welcoming.
Wow, that's lovely. That's kind of rare sometimes. You don't usually have the support where you come from,
Yeah.
To have that, that's amazing, when you have people that are there like that. Um, what is your routine for coming up with great material for an audience?
Oh, so much. Sometimes so for when I'm in the show, I like to watch the show. I like to watch the audience, and I pretty much the first couple minutes, I want them to know that I was watching the show with you. I was watching you, and I want them
Mhm.
to make them feel like you're a part of this experience right here, right now.
Yeah.
Um, and then for my material, I just think about just sadly just like racism,
Mhm.
stereotypes,
Yeah.
double standards, which we have a lot of. So there's a lot of material to work with.
Yeah. People can
Um,
relate to that too.
yes,
It's very relatable.
and I love how like we're starting to talk about it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I would like to be a part of that conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. That's beautiful. Definitely. Um, who are your influences? What comics make you laugh?
For me, um, like Eddie Izzard was really really big.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Because he taught me that like you can make people learn. So because of him, I know about the Stonehenge and I know
Hmm.
about the power of the flag. Um, and people also like Trevor Noah. He has a really good way of kind of like
Yeah.
breaking things down, right?
Yeah.
Um, and Hannah Gadsby, like her comedy, like she broke comedy, but like in the best way possible. And I love how like these comedians are asking questions like with this platform you have a mic, you
Mhm.
have all these people watching, like what are you going to do about it? Are we going
Right.
to talk about airplane food? And that's great, but
Hmm.
like these people are talking about like sexual assault, racism, and just kind of like what it means to be a man right now, what it means to be a woman, like just really interesting topics, and I
Right.
really really like that.
Yeah. It's kind of like empowering and being a comedian at the same time.
Yeah.
That's kind of deep. You know. Talk about some of your most memorable shows though, and how they impacted you.
Oh
'Cause I
my
know you.
god. So okay, when you ask like memorable shows, there's like three shows that come into mind.
Mhm.
um One is the best show, like it was perfect, and like the crowd went wild, and
Yeah.
afterwards like the crowd, like we took pictures, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is it, like I felt so like on cloud nine.
Oh wow.
Um,
Yes.
the worst show was like when I bombed, like
Hmm.
bombed so hard that other people asked me if I was okay.
Oh
Like, yeah,
wow.
like you just silence and crickets, and I could not get off the stage. I will always remember that, like for better or for worse.
Wow. That would have been kind of hard to watch.
No, it is hard to watch. Like
Whoa.
everybody is just with you, like this. She just got 4 more minutes, and we just have to like watch.
Hmm. Yeah, that is crazy. You know, it happens to the best though. I mean, some of the most famous comedians have gone through that. I'm sure Eddie Murphy has went through it, and Dave Chappelle, all these different comedians. I know that they have had their time where they have just bombed on stage. And that happens. You ain't a comedian if that doesn't happen. I don't think.
Yeah, it's
You
just
know.
so humbling.
Yeah, yeah, it really is. It is. Um, this is something too that can be really humbling. Hecklers. How do you deal with hecklers and disruptive audience members if you've ever experienced that?
Um, I have, and I think it hasn't been as bad as I know it could be. I
Hmm.
think in their mind they're helping. Well, okay, the two hecklers I had, I think in their brain they were helping, but they didn't know, or maybe they didn't care. They were like disrupting the tempo of
Hmm.
your show.
Yeah.
Um, for those two, I just kind of you just deal with it and you just
And
grit and
just
bear
go
it.
on.
But other people, um, you ever have like a show where it's so bad, like even the MC gets in it, like, hey, this isn't your
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
There's,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
it's just,
Yep.
yeah, I
That
don't know.
is.
I think you just gotta bear it.
Yeah. Yeah. You do. You just have to bear it, get through it. I mean, if you can get through it and come out of it strong, then you won. You
Yeah,
know, seriously, because sometimes that can break a career for some comedians. Some people be like, oh, I'm never going back out there again, and it breaks their spirit, and they just they don't do it no more. But if you can get through that, I think that's the hardest part you've conquered, if you can get
right?
through that. So that's but that's crazy. But now, this question I want to ask: how
Mhm.
far do you want to take your career? Meaning, do you want to do any acting as well? Do you want to go beyond being a comedian?
I think I'm down for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think with this mind frame, I'm going just say yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing like, do you want to do a Zoom show? Yes. Okay. Do you
Mm-hmm.
want to try this open mic? Sure. So I think with this whole idea, just yes, and then whatever that path takes you, like just be prepared as much as possible. Even with this, like I was just trying to like, what would my answers be and what would this be like? And, I just want people to know that, like, I'm going to do my best and try to be prepared and see where that goes and just hope for the best.
That's a great answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, very very valid answer. Definitely.
Thank you.
If you weren't an entertainer, what would you be doing? I mean, because you said you were a librarian. I mean, is
Yeah.
that something that is that another passion for you?
I honestly, it was just like education is my passion. Like for me, I've been in school in some form or another for my whole life. Like I don't know anything else other than being in school.
Hmm.
Um, I think being a children's librarian right now is amazing. It gives me something to talk about with my kids. We're trading
Yeah.
notes.
Yeah.
Um, and it's also teaching me that like um, kids right now, they're having conversations that I didn't have when I was growing up. So some of
Hmm.
these books I read, I was like, oh, we're talking about homelessness. Oh, we're talking
Yeah.
about um like talking about death, and they're talking
Mhm.
about ADHD. They're talking about all these things, and I was like, oh, okay, kids aren't scared. I'm scared.
Right.
So
Right.
I need to get over that, and that's what this job has been really, really good at, like letting me know.
Hmm.
Um,
That's
but
amazing.
I think other than that, I would just be at every comedy club watching the comedian and wishing I was them.
Right. Right. But that you have purpose in other places too. That
Yeah.
which is great. Because you let it be known that not only are you a comedian, but you deal with real world issues, and you deal with things that are really relevant to what's going on now too.
Yeah.
which is
Trying.
very amazing. Yeah, you're doing a very good job at it. Yeah, keep it up. Definitely. Um, what do you think the best thing is about being a comedian, in your opinion?
So the way I see it, it's like I think of it as like yoga. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like when you get on the mic, you have to just be present,
Right.
just breathe, and then commit to what you're saying. Because I've seen comedians, you've seen comedians where like they just say the most randomest stuff, but they're in it and they're so
Hmm.
committed. They're just it's beautiful in a certain way.
Hmm.
And they've told me like even if you feel like an idiot halfway through what you're saying, you have to stay in it, you have to stay committed, believe in what you're saying, because if you
Hmm.
don't, the audience is going to feel it, and then
Yeah,
you're going to
they'll know.
they'll
Yes.
know, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
So I think that's what it's taught me. Like that's what I love about comedy is like you're you're in something that's only there with these people in
Hmm.
this moment right there right now.
Yes.
And oh, and for the times that, people have bombed, and to the times that like, oh my God, I can't believe
Hmm.
they just said that.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, there's a beauty in that I love, and
Hmm.
just the way that I love hearing people's stories. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
um, how people have grown up differently, people have experienced the world differently, and everyone can look at, let's say Harry Potter. Like, everyone can look at Harry Potter in like all these different ways. It just makes it that much more interesting, and that's what I love about it.
Wow. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. Oh, also, before I forget, I know
Okay.
you and Sheila has
Yeah.
collabed on different ventures. Shout out to the amazing and hilarious Sheila Neville Johnson. By the way, explain what you guys do.
She is okay. She is so generous. She has been nothing but generous and sweet with her time and
Hmm.
like her opportunities. She also let me to talk to you, which I'm very thankful for.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely. Yes.
she and I have been in a couple of comedy shows. There's a coffee shop where it just features like female comedians.
Hmm.
She and I have done shows together there. We also worked on a collaboration interview together, and
Hmm.
she just brings this energy of like,
Yeah,
"We got
yeah.
this.
It's
We
so
can do."
positive, man.
Yes.
She is such a breath of fresh air, You and her both, So you know.
So those are the things that we've worked on together, but she leaves you feeling like we can do this. And
Hmm.
I think that's really, really yeah, that's super important.
Yeah, yeah, you need that. You need someone in your corner that is just as serious about it as you are.
Yeah.
You know, that's beautiful. Um, Let the world know where they can go to see your material and how they can reach out to you and all of
Um,
that good stuff.
well, if they're ever in Chandler, Arizona, there's this place called Improv Mania in
Mhm.
downtown Chandler. I'm there usually every Thursday nights. There's an open mic, and then book
Oh
shows
wow.
Fridays and Saturdays. Other than that, I will hopefully be putting up Zoom show information. It'll be my first Zoom show. Super nervous.
Oh wow. Wow. Shoot. If I'm out in the Arizona area, which I might be soon in the near future, I might have to stop in and check you out.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
hope you do. There's a lot of cool
definitely.
people out here that are just um always a hop and skip and a jump away from LA.
Hmm.
And like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
That's the beauty of it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. And I always love that weather.
Yeah.
I love it, man. Definitely.
But yeah. And I hope to put out some more videos. We'll see what else we got.
Yeah, I'll get you on the show too, because my
Oh,
Moonlight Media Music TV platform will be starting back up in April. So I definitely would like to get some of your video performances on and
will
get you
do.
showcased. Definitely, without a doubt. Um, what advice would you have for other comedians who want to do what you're doing?
Um, One is to do it. Um, and just know that um it's a lot. It takes more work than I think people realize.
Mm, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and then I think people have told me it takes about 5 years to be decent. I don't know. That's the mind frame that I'm going in on it.
It is
But
hard work to make people laugh.
it is. And when
It
you're
really
trying out
is.
material, you're like, I thought this would have killed. And it's just like crickets.
Yeah, yeah.
But I say have fun and just commit to what you're saying and be present in the moment and, go for the ride and just and be kind.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Be
this last,
humble.
yeah,
Yeah.
like last week we had a show and there was this comedian and he was bombing. He was not doing very well and he just like sat down and you could just see it, you know?
Ooh.
And the MC was like, "Do you know what? Let's give this guy a round of applause. He's been here. He laughed the loudest for all of your jokes."
Mm-hmm.
And he just like brought him back up and it was like the coolest thing that I've seen. I was like, "That's a cool guy.
That's
That's a
deep.
class." Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
I just
very deep.
be kind.
Yeah, that's great advice. Great advice. Definitely. No doubt. Wow. For my last question,
Okay.
is there anything
Uh-huh.
that you won't joke about?
Um, no, I think so there's a couple jokes that I do about, there's a joke that I do about sexual assault because I've had some experience working in sexual assault.
Okay.
Um, but I think if you can show people that you know the content and
Mm-hmm.
you're going to take care of them, I think you go, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Daniel Sloss did that with his story. Hannah
Yeah.
Gadsby did that with her story. Like a lot of people can do that. But I think if you're going to talk about something that's controversial or heavy, do not just go, "Woo,"
Mm-hmm.
because then it's like, I
It's
think,
like you just said that. Like, what are you
yeah,
know, you have to almost get in depth with what you're saying. You have to have some kind of substance behind it, so
definitely.
to speak.
Because if you're gonna, if, for me, it's like you brought that up, and that's what you're gonna do with it.
Right.
Like, I
Yeah.
think that's what's been interesting.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that's what we're still trying to figure out, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's what else I love about comedy is it's evolving. It's
Mm-hmm.
always changing. It's
It
growing.
is. It is. It's trial and error, but like you said, it's always growing.
Uh,
Absolutely. Yes, indeed. That's so true. That is so true. Oh man, this has been such a wonderful interview.
yeah.
We're already at the end. Wow, time flies when you're having fun. It really does. This has been wonderful. This concludes my interview with the funny and brilliant, talented comedian Mo. It has
Thank
been
you.
a pleasure having you on, and I look forward to networking with you in the near future, having you on the show and doing some more great things. I got to get out to Arizona too, definitely.
Definitely.
Definitely. You know.
All right. Have a great day.
Okay, I will be in touch with you soon, Mo. You have a good one.
All right. Bye.
Bye bye. We have come to the end of the interview. It's been great doing it with the talented comedian Mo. Feel free to join us again for more interviews. Check us out and subscribe to the platforms that you see at the ending credits. I am Jamal Jupitur, and until next time.